Okay, so summary of day one. We added a base to raise up the bottom to hide the wire underneath. We have drilled holes for various lights and accessories. We temporarily mounted the light stands roughly where they're going. We've drawn out where everything's going. And Hank is using recycled plastic card signs to create concrete runway tiles. They have a bit of texturing on them, which we'll show through on the paint. And he's got little gaps in them, which replicate real life gaps. And they'll have little bits of grass and oil and things in them. So there's where we're at the start of day two, and we'll give you progress reports later as they develop. So this work in progress is going to be the fictional helicopter pad, which is going to go on top of the hangar.
That would be the underside of the pad.
The underside, yes, constructed out of wood. Whoops. Oh yeah, that's okay. So this guy will eventually end up on top of here. And I'm sure Hank will airbrush circles and, other things that go on a helipad.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, this would never in real life be on here, but because we're trying to max out how much stuff we can put on this diorama, we're making our own helipad to go on top of our hangar. Stay tuned and we'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. So today's the big day where you pull out the airbrush and you start applying the paint.
Yeah. Isn't this a good color for concrete?
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's about 20 years old and it's from Pactra, so... No, Floquil. Remember those guys? Yeah, we're old. But it's good for concrete.
There we go. So we're going to leave Hank to it, and we're going to check back with him in a while.
Oh, yes. The base color for the terrain that's going to go down on top of this.
Beautiful.
Dark earth. This isn't a black. This is actually a very, very dark brown. Then I will go over it with a lighter brown.
Right.
And then...
pick out the texture.
Pick up the texture, and then I'm going to start adding things like the grasses and flowers and the trees and little things like that. I want to make sure that we get most of the LEDs in, and I want to get the wiring all sorted first. And of course, that's Jason's job. And then we'll go over and we'll do up all the details, and it will just pop.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, we're looking at this thing again. We see lots of color on there. What's going on, Hank?
Lots of dark color going on right now. We have the light concrete floor for the hangar itself. I've airbrushed in all of the black for the runway. Now that's just the first color. I'll probably go, 4, 5, 6 colors on that. The ground area where I'm planning to have grass and trees and whatnot, that's all starting to get in there. I like to start dark and then dry brush into lighter browns. And the muddy parking lot is beginning to take shape, because whenever I go to an air show, the airports, or say the parking lots, are usually crap. Sorry, pardon my French there, but they're usually muddy and they're not all that great. I do have my paving stones in here, which I'm going to do with a slightly redder color on top, and then of course lighter underneath to be the sand that they fill paving stones in with. And right now, as you can see, I'm starting to just use simple masks. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to start varying the tone of the concrete just a little bit, just ever so slightly. then I have to start accenting all of the cracks and whatnot that we usually find in concrete. So, yeah, this is now 20 hours in, and it's going the way that I expected it to.
Excellent. We'll check back soon for a further update.
Welcome to day 4. We're over 20 hours in now. So as you can see, we have the majority of the groundwork in here. We have the taxiway and the runways and everything that's all painted in the base colors. We're going to touch that up with grays as we go. We have the somewhat marbled floor for the inside of the aerodrome. We have things like, for instance, the parking lot. I'm not exactly happy with the parking lot. I might change that out. I might actually scrape that up and do it. But the big part was getting in all of the scale flocking, all nice and glued in there with white glue and lots of woodland scenics. And just to test to see if it's gonna work, there's one of our 144 scale aircraft so that we can figure out whether the grass works. And I think that's going to work all right. Of course, we've left the hole so that we can have the lights and everything run through the bottom of it. And that'll be coming tomorrow.
Perfect. Stay tuned for more updates.